Thank you, Chairman. Madam Secretary, I share the concerns raised by my Republican colleagues about the Biden administration's handling of the OECD tax negotiations. Every single member of this committee, Republican or Democrat, should be outraged at the way President Biden has undermined Congress's constitutional role in tax writing. The president's used your office, the Treasury Department, to make an end run around Congress by rewriting American tax laws. It's been done in collusion with bureaucrats in Paris, all the while raising taxes on American employers and giving our tax base away to Europe. What's even more frustrating to me is that the OECD minimum tax manages to both raise taxes on U.S.-based businesses and likely reduces U.S. tax revenue at the same time. Now, at the same hearing last year, I raised concerns with how the OECD Pillar 2 deal, as currently negotiated by you and your team, would completely undermine important tax credits such as the research and development credit. I haven't heard of any significant movement from Treasury on that front since the time of that hearing until earlier this week on Tuesday. Your Deputy Assistant Secretary for International Affairs, Scott Levine, was quoted saying that while he believes favorable tax treatment for the U.S. R&D credit will be resolved with OECD administrative guidance, it's possible it will be necessary for the Biden administration to revert to what he called Plan B. He went on to clarify that this Plan B referred to legislation that would have to be passed by this body. Now, Madam Secretary, this is the first that I had heard of the need for legislation to address the administration's failure to secure U.S. interests in the Pillar 2 model rules. This needs to be fixed. I said it last year, I'll say it again now. You need to go back to the table and negotiate. And if you're unable to fix this with the OECD, please tell me more about this Plan B. Please tell me more about this Plan B so we know what's coming, including how much this hypothetical legislation is going to cost the American taxpayer. So
countries participating in the OECD process understand that the treatment of the R&D tax credit is a critical issue for us, and we believe we have an opening to negotiate with them to try to resolve this in a way that will be favorable.
And that will be through OECD administrative guidance, presumably. Right, and if that fails, according to Deputy Assistant Secretary Levine, we'll be resorting or reverting to Plan B.
Well, look, we have resolved a number of issues favorably through administrative guidance that affect the United States, such as the treatment of
I've
tax
got a minute 20
partnerships, the low-income
Yes.
housing tax credit, the green energy credits, and
that was done through administrative guidance. But if that fails, Plan B is, and I've got a minute left. Plan B, tell me more about Plan B, Madam Secretary.
I don't think there is a detailed Plan B.
Not yet.
But it is clear that refundable tax credits would not be penalized by the global minimum tax. And so it is conceivable that this could be restructured to clearly qualify, and we would stand ready to work with you to accomplish that.
Do you commit to providing this committee with updated revenue estimates for Pillar 2 and for the proposed Plan B legislative action within the next, say, 60 days? I mean, this committee needs to know what to expect and what sort of Plan B to prepare.
We are working to resolve this issue, and we'll stay in close touch with you as we do that.
Can we get this information in the next 60 days, Madam Secretary?
We will let you know how the negotiations are proceeding. I'm not promising to provide estimates of a Plan B that hasn't been worked out or does not exist. We're working to resolve this.
It sure would be nice to have Treasury's assistance to contingency plan for the failure of providing some influence in what OECD's administrative guidance looks like. And because I'm not highly optimistic that that will be resolved, and thus we would be required per the Deputy Assistant Secretary to exercise Plan B, which is quite vague. Thank you, Chairman.